and we are live.
Gotta stay hydrated, man. I think
So good H2O.
I think we underestimate the value of being hydrated. For sure.
Honestly, we don't know until we're D. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Then our brain starts saying, "Hey, man, remember that shit we used to consume? I need that.
Yeah.
I kind of need it. It was a good idea. Let's keep
almost like you're 75% of it.
75% of
Is
it.
75% of what's made of water? Is it 75?
I feel like that whole thing is fake. You know what I mean?
Really?
No, we're not made out of water. Why would we be made out of water? I don't feel like water, so I can't be made out of water. You know
I see what you're saying. I see what
I feel like they made it up to boost sales of certain big pharma. I feel like big pharma created that.
Okay.
Lie.
Oh, I see. Yeah. You think
Yeah.
there's a because I don't know how far the conspiracy goes. I've often wondered about this. But yeah, that makes sense. That seems like something that not pharmaceutical, but they're probably in there as well.
Cahoots.
Yeah. So
because you got to think about how do we measure this?
Before that, but here's the thing: because you are so smart, I'm curious. What do you think we're made of? I would just be, if we're not made up of 75% water. Like, could you? And I'm gonna eat this tortilla while you talk about it because I'm interested in. So, what are we actually made of? If the 75% water is a lie.
Okay, and this is the thing, right? This is where things get a little tricky, right? Because it's funny that you mentioned tortilla. I do think we are what we actually eat, right? I think it does break down, and that's why look. I'm not trying to get racial. Welcome back to Checkpoint Play Conversations. Where we talk about video games and conspiracy theories. We got some fun one today. Yo, we miss you guys. We miss all of you. We are back in the building. What up, Ash in Space? What up, Stinker Poo? Am I doubting science? Hey, look, we should all doubt science a little bit. A little bit. You know what I mean? We're just here. You get what I'm saying? I'll finish that in the Patreon.
Okay, good. Because I really want to know more about this. Yeah, because I want to know where you're going to go with it. Because I mean, if you had to bring race into it, there really must be scientifically backed data. Yeah. I got you.
And that's the only thing we talk about here, right? Scientifically backed data. It's kind of our strong suit. What up, Frosty Phoenix? Great event Thursday. Hey, thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through.
Oh, I'm in the presence of greatness right now. I mean, you out there creating the community, creating the spaces. That's important.
It was fun. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. All right, it was pretty fun.
I bet it was.
For those who didn't know, I threw a pseudo South of Midnight launch party, unofficial.
Oh man, that sounds cool. Bro.
Right. Invited a bunch of people to a karaoke bar. There was songs, there was dancing, there was video games, there was a Street Fighter tournament, and all of those things happened at once. Your eyes lit up. What's up?
Cause that sounds so much fun, man. That's wonderful.
Not gonna lie.
We don't do that. Cool. Like we throw parties for like new releases of music, or they throw parties for new releases of movies and stuff. Throwing a video game release party, like that is the exact antithesis of like, look at me getting deep in there. We've gotten to the mindful gaming part. I have to take every opportunity to show people how smart I am, and I can never miss that. And so as long as we're both honest and open about it, you know.
Not just smart, but smarter than.
Smarter than, yeah, no. Yeah. In fact, in Korean, that would actually be.
But were we going to say the antithesis?
No, but like creating that environment where like people get online and like bash games for no reason, but then just create an environment where it's the complete exact opposite. Man, that's sick, bro. We need to bring that back.
Seriously. And I think people are interested in something, which is so cool to see, right? Because I think, we're so tapped into video games. I mean, me and you, like specifically, obviously some of our listeners are like so tapped in with video games as far as like, we know at least way more than the average person, right? But we forget that some people don't even know, right? Like I was getting ready to go into a discussion about the South of Midnight controversy with some people, and there was other people there who was like, "What's South of Midnight?" You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and like, oh, it's actually this game right here. And it was just talking about the game out of pure curiosity because they
Yeah.
had no clue it even existed, right? And that's just a completely different vibe. And it's very fun. And I miss that. I miss that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was dope, man.
Yeah. And then obviously I got into the price of the game and then things got interesting.
Oh,
Yeah. Today
They feelings hurt. Oh, their feelings hurt.
Had a huge debate, not even debate, a huge announcement here from the Nintendo Direct, as we all seen. They talked about their games, their Switch 2, their everything and other. And then they mentioned Mario Kart, the Mario Kart, and how it will cost a whopping $80. $80 for Mario Kart. That's a Nintendo Switch 2 game. And people lost their shit. People said, holy shit. All the protests you see going on around the world are because of Nintendo Switch. That's why they're out in New York. That's why they're out in Washington, D.C. They said enough is enough. America, we can deal with everything else. We can't deal
with video game prices.
Games.
That's where we draw the line, bro. That's where we draw the line. Don't worry about healthcare. We don't care about that. But when you start, I had a completely different response to it and was flamed accordingly on the internet for it. Like that's just how it works.
So let's get right into it. Immediately, what was your response to the increase of the money price for video games?
I just laughed. I thought it was hilarious. I thought that's the funniest thing that I have seen a company do in a very long time to show you that while you might love our products, we make it and we get to decide how much it is. And if you really love us, you'll pay the extra $10. If you really love us, we thank you for thank you for making the Switch and the GameCube and the Nintendo 64. Thank you for making them best-selling consoles, household names. We appreciate you, loyal consumer. And if you want to continue to have that relationship with us, you'll pay $10 more for Mario.
$10 more.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And was Mario Kart the move? Was Mario Kart the one to bring about this increase for?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Strategically, if you're like Nintendo, then absolutely. It's the game that has the most amount of Nintendo characters in it. It's the one that everybody can play with their family. It's the one that is a low barrier to entry into. It's the one that everybody's going to want to say that they have. Yeah, absolutely. This is the best
probably
one.
the most longevity as well,
For
right?
sure.
If they did it for a mainline single player Mario game, even multiplayer Mario game, whatever it may be, it's only going to be played for so long, right? But we know from down near a century of Mario Kart games that this one will probably be played for a decade, literally.
For sure.
Probably for a literal decade, at least, right? So $10 extra, $80, is it justified? Now, before we get into that too much, I will say that there was some rumors that even I bought into at one point saying that digital is 80, but physical is 90. I believe it has come to everyone's attention that is not the case. I think Verdict.
Damn, I got caught in that too.
I think Verdict is still kind of out there, but there was something saying that there were some opposing views on that.
You're right. But with the tariffs that are coming anyway, like gamers need to get ready for the physical price to go up. It's going to be $90 by the time tariffs are done.
But with tariffs, facts. Nintendo just released a statement saying that, hey, we're gonna delay our Nintendo Switch 2 because we gotta think about this tariff situation that's going on over here.
Yeah,
and that might really take everyone. Sony also released a statement just recently, I think yesterday or today, saying that they too will have to reevaluate some things. They said that they said that they luckily basically they said they had a backlog of some stuff, some inventory and product or whatever the case may be, so that they, can give us a little bit of lead room in preparation for this. But at some point, they're going to have to think about what's going to happen with the current landscape of the economy and tariffs.
Yeah. Remember how gamers used to say they didn't want video games to be political?
They said,
cool. Gotcha. Well, we've been trying to tell you.
Could possibly be.
Yep.
President made a political decision that directly
affects you. Directly. And here's the funny thing. You've been playing video games about this exact thing happening the whole time, and have missed the
Literally.
point. Hey,
Literally.
we could go through the games that they missed the point in. There's
Yeah.
sequels to games that they've missed the point in.
Yeah, because they were so
Now they're
busy
about to
not
learn
trying to be
to be
political.
political. They are about to learn, and I'm just
Wow.
yep.
The
Get ready.
people who didn't
Get
want
ready
their games to be political
Why should politics not be in video games? Okay. Okay.
ignored the storylines about how the politics will affect their video games have now fucked around and found out. I don't know to rejoice. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. What do I do with that information?
Yeah.
I sit there and I say, yeah, I have to pay extra, but now at least you motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least you know. But the thing is, we can never underestimate their ignorance, right? They will find a way to make it seem like this is something else or other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They will find a way to be like, and I've already seen it. Actually, it's not tariffs; it's greedy Nintendo. They just want to be greedy.
Oh, that's where they're gonna stop. That's where they're gonna stop.
Yeah.
Damn.
Others are saying, actually, no, it's just going to be the same. It's just a pre-order delay. Like, there's going to actually no, it's just them being proactive and responding to the hate of the Mario Kart increase. There's a bunch of stuff that's going around.
The cope is hard.
They will find a way.
That's amazing.
They will find a way, but they will also be paying that extra money.
Oh yeah, for sure. If they want to play, yeah, that's why I laugh when you asked my original question. Why did I just laughed? I was like, man, and I remember what it used to be like to like have that level of fear of missing out and FOMO. Some of the comments I got were absolutely outrageous, though. Like it was some of the responses that people were had. Like, why are you shilling for a $90 company? Why aren't you like? I'm not gonna upset my nervous system because a game company that's designed primarily to make money wants to make more money. You got two options: buy it, don't buy it. Third option might be write Nintendo a letter, but they're gonna say thank you, value customer. And if you want to play Mario Kart, you're gonna pay the extra $10. You know.
And my thing is, okay, so I'm on a few different sides of it. One of them was a little bit of audacity on my end. I can admit that, right? I will say, all right, Nintendo Switch, you have now moved your way into an up-to-date situation, right? You are now currently in the talks of a console that is not years old, right? Now you can do 1080p, right? Now you can do a little bit of 4K when docked. Now you can do 120 FPS. Now you have game chat. Now you have some features that people want. Now, you're a little crazy for jumping the gun on raising the price. You, of all the people, shouldn't be doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a little bit of it for me. Like, in Nintendo, you kind of crazy for doing this. All right? Now, granted, if this was... Unfortunately, we all know, we all say, if this was Grand Theft Auto 6, and hey, this shit gonna cost $80. Everybody would be like, damn, I got you. You got me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already pre-ordered it. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's what everybody would have definitely said if this was Grand Theft Auto 6, without a doubt. No doubts about it. But since it was Nintendo, since it was Mario Kart, people was like, you son of a bitch, right? Because perception is everything, right? It's just like, you son of a bitch.
Right.
Who's everybody mistaken? I know. Hey, look, I hear you.
I understand. I understand exactly.
Who's we?
What
I
you're
understand.
saying. Yeah, I got you there. We know who we're talking about, but yeah, no, that makes sense. Because again, my main thing is I don't even think I even got the empathy to get there, like that you have, like to really think through that. Like, okay, so some people are not just upset because they're addicted to fear of missing out on capitalism and having the brand new very first thing, and you realizing that the company actually holds the reins. Like, okay, everybody's not there. Some people were saying we would have been all right with it if it wasn't this, right? Like if it wasn't Mario Kart, we would have been all right with it. Or if your company had a history of like doing good things, right?
You're right.
I guess I would
just perception.
Yeah, I guess I would just then ask, why did you support them all the past times they did things where they were doing this? You know,
Nintendo Switch also was one of the first to. I don't think they were the first, but they were one of the first to raise price to 70 too. Tears of the Kingdom from Nintendo Switch was also $70. So this is the thing, right? Now, again, this comes a point. Everyone else is going to start following suit, right? People are going to start. Prices will just increase now, guys. They're going up, right? And part of me, again, also is like, hey, look, games, and this is when the shield comes in, right? Games are significantly longer, significantly bigger. They do cost more money. Like I know CEOs are greedy. I do agree, right? Profit margins can just shrink a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And they could just eat. I get it, but games are bigger, right? Games are lasting for years, right? Those PlayStation 2 games you had back in the day, you played it because you had to. You know what I'm saying? You replayed
Right.
that joint because you had to, right? Nowadays, these games are coming out with content after content. They're coming out with, even at base value, literally, and I think I should pull this up, but games are longer in general. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I felt that. Yeah, that's one of the things I've been frustrated with is playing video games that take 20, 30 hours to play. And I'm like, Return to Grace is a game I found on Game Pass. And like, yeah, it only took me 4 hours, but it was such a deep, fast, like it was so good. I'm like, what happened to this? But I think people attribute value to how long many hours are in the game. And like, you think about the experience that you have.
Yes. Yes. So let's see. If I pull this up, can you guys see that? I sound like I'm in a damn meeting. Can you guys see my screen? Let me see. Can I, if I go by, let's say, I don't know, maybe you can help me, but when did the PlayStation 4 even come out? I'm gonna just go back to
Oh,
like
man.
2014. On average, back in 2014, let's say, games took about 16 hours to beat. Over time. How long to beat? Took about 16 hours. We go back even further, let's say 2004. God damn. These games took about 27
Maybe, but you know, it depends because we might need to account for like
types of
genres and
games.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but look, I mean, I guess looking down, it would show us those would probably be like this is Half-Life 2, Star Wars. I mean, that makes sense. I didn't know those
Yeah,
games.
Half-Life
When was
2.
this?
This is 2004. This is a
2004?
banger year. This is probably why I
Wow,
never
we
get
had
into it.
games, bro.
This
The
was a
games we had.
banger year. All right.
Metal
Snake
Gear
Eater,
Solid 3.
Half-Life 2, and San Andreas.
Yeah,
God damn.
no. This is the year that they love, man. They
Jesus.
love
Doom
some
3.
CJ Vampire the Masquerade came out back then. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like 2. Okay, no, this was a goddamn banger year.
Fable?
Fable? Sims 2 kind of cheating. It's like unlimited game. No, this was 2004 is actually a spectacular year. Let me fine. See, there we go.
Let me find the data that supports my hypothesis.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Well, like 2000. Okay, well, let me see if we can just go by years. Damn, the years are kind of all over the place, though. I wonder if I can go by generation, like platforms. Is really what I want to go for. PlayStation 3.
It's getting higher.
There we go. Okay. PlayStation 3, 18 hours on average for games to beat. PlayStation 4 on average 19 hours.
Okay, now
to
this
beat.
data is supporting your hypothesis. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is going by platforms.
Now go to PlayStation 5. If it's up, then you were correct. Okay.
21.
All right. You found it. You found
You
it.
get what I'm saying?
You found the
You
data
get what
you
I'm
were
saying?
looking for. No, that was
and this
so-
is what we do here at the Counterplay Conversations.
That was actually really good and skillful. The way that you manipulated that data to show what you wanted.
It was under pressure.
So good. But you did
It was under
great. Bro.
pressure.
Like somebody needs to write a book about that. That was fire.
no,
If
that
this
was
were
a
a
little tough.
nationally televised thing, bro, and you just needed to do that, that was sick. That was sick. Good job. Good job. That was really
You know
good.
what I'm saying? And even if we go back though, you know what I'm saying? It literally does. Each generation.
Yeah, no, that's really cool, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And let me see, just in case, let me not even just do PlayStation. Let's go Xbox.
I think I mean, if you're
Xbox.
right, we should see it go up.
11 hours, yeah, we should. Xbox, and then what came after Xbox? 360? 360,
Yeah.
going up.
Yep.
Games are literally
Yeah.
longer. They take longer to beat, just literally,
Yeah.
right? So games factually take longer to beat, and this is base, right? This isn't counting DLC. This isn't counting any type of anything else, right? Extra story content and things like that. This is at base. Games take longer to beat. So just in that alone, I could at least understand why a price increase would come. Let's see what the comments are talking about over here. They're arguing it up. I think prices inevitably going up, tariffs or not, just because of the way gaming technology is advancing. Facts, 100%. Young Gold says. But I feel like the prices just went up on games, then another increase very quickly. I do feel that though, right? It went from 60 to 70, and then 70 to 80. It feels like fast. I can definitely understand that. But like I said, games are longer, so I can understand a price increase in that. My thing here, okay, this is where things get crazy. Okay, everyone says they don't want to increase in games and price in games. I get it, right? So how about we do the opposite? How about we make games lower price? Let's say the lowest price possible, free, right? Games are free now. Now, with that being said, let's say we find a way to fund it because we got to fund the game. Right? The game got to get money. Let's say we use something that doesn't really affect the game. We don't want to pay for a power up. We don't want to pay for even a story beat necessarily.
Yes.
Let's do something silly, random. Let's just do colors. You can buy a color of a hat, color of a shirt, right? Color of some pants. The game is free. Other people or you can buy the color of pants, shirt, clothes every now and then at a smaller price, maybe $2 here and there, $3 there and there, right? So the game is free to play, they would say, right? Why is that the problem? Because they also get mad at that.
Yeah.
A game is free to play, $0.
Yeah.
With optional purchases, people are also upset. What are we going to do?
Absolute bangers that are for free right now. Marvel Rivals,
Really good games.
you know what I'm saying? Like and they still get mad because there are some people that, and we just can't stay thinking about them too long, but there're just some people who think that they should get everything they want for free and they're entitled to it. And there's no way for you to tell them that they're not. And if you don't make it exactly the way that they want it, then, you're being mean.
Laser, I'm going to have to disagree, man. I don't know if that's true, bro. I think it's just good games, man. I think we've had really good games back then. I don't think we're getting filler content. I think we're getting more side quests, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Are you counting side quests as that? Like, I don't think this is how long to beat the game, right? Yeah. That was how long to beat the game. We're not talking about just any extra stuff. You know what I mean? I'm in the opposite camp. Okay. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, when we were talking about like the reasons or justifications for the price going up, I just try to keep in the back of my mind, like they don't really not owe us one, but they don't have to give one. Like I think some people sometimes like care about these companies so much and like they feel like family to them, but you have to remember that like they're selling you a product, so that's why I didn't go through, like, well, I mean, if it were this game, you know what I'm saying? Like if there was a trophy of like, okay, this is the video game that brought in parkour, that was Mirror's Edge. This is the video game that normalized voice chat. This is the video game that normalized $89 games. Should it be Mario Kart? Should it be Mario Kart? Like, is that the story we're going to tell our gaming ancestors?
And then Mario Kart decided to raise the tide.
Break the mold.
Charging us. And then there also is that argument of like, yes, games are cheaper then, and inflation, but wages haven't increased. And it's especially hard for this one because this one is a direct effect. At least, I would say at least this upcoming price increase, if it happens, who knows, would be a direct cause of President Donald Trump's decision to add taxes on everybody's shit.
And you don't even have to like dislike Trump. Like it's just an objective fact. Like I'm not even mad. Not even getting political. Just simply saying video game prices are increasing because of a direct choice that Donald Trump made. That President Donald Trump made. That's not political. That's just the truth.
It is literally what happened. Like there's nothing we can do about it. That's what happened, guys. Everyone's saying
USA.
like this is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Side quests or just collectibles that will add a few hours of gameplay. Sometimes that content is fun, no lie, but it does add to the length. But what I was talking about is literally just time to beat the game. Now, I'm not talking about to platinum the game. That isn't to 100% completion. And those games back in the day definitely had that shit up in there. You know what I'm saying? They definitely had that. They loved a good collectible, which I always avoided. Oh God, Spyro.
Yeah, I got hooked into finding it. I just got hooked on it as a kid. I don't do it anymore, but I do remember in Spyro, like I was hooked on trying to find everything. And this was before the days of good, game
YouTube
skill, you know.
video
Yeah, no,
walkthroughs.
we had to go through it. You had to go through it, man.
I remember stressing over. I think it was Crash Bandicoot had its moments too, but at least
Oh yeah, Crash Bandicoot definitely had it.
yeah, right. Like there were some moments where I'm like, I just don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do to get this invisible box to make it tangible for me to jump on.
For sure.
Like I don't know. What
And then you
I'm supposed
find
to do.
out later in life, it's some shit
Yeah.
that who sat down and found that out? Who did
Facts.
that? Like, why?
Facts.
I didn't think I needed to spin around in a circle, go to the moon statue, jump 3 times, and then
Yeah. That definitely was a thing. But yeah, video game prices is a whole thing now. It's about value, though. I think at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, and although it's Nintendo, although it's Mario, we do have to admit that we will be playing Mario Kart for at least 7 more years. Legit, easily 7, 8 more years. We will be playing Mario Kart, right? Like that is a family. That is a gaming staple, right? That is something that everyone is willing to just hop on and play, right? It's just in your household. It's something that will get playtime, period.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not that outrageous, you know? It feels crazy. I get it. It feels a little tough, but it's not that outrageous for a game that we know we're going to be paying for 9, 8 years. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think people don't put the value into how much. Like, again, that's another reason. Like, it sounds like we're shilling, but that's another
I know, I get
reason
it.
that, like, if we were just talking to people about the price and they could pay it and they just don't want to, one argument that someone might make would be, how many hours of value do you get out of this game? Like, you could be, I mean, people still talk about other older Mario Karts. Like, that's important to me. Like, and you can, you spend $50 to go get 2 movie tickets and maybe like chips and a soda for like 2 hours of fun. With video games, like hundreds of hours in certain things. So, like, again,
Thousands.
but what they're going to say is, like, stop shilling for the company and just be outraged that the price increased. That's what, now I understand why they call us shills, because what we're doing is offering logical reasons for why you don't need to be as upset as you are. But what they hear is, this is why it's okay for games to be $80.
Yeah. Yes.
Literally. Okay.
And it's almost impossible to navigate.
Explain to them.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
They're gonna think that you are disagreeing with me. Period. Shield. It's over.
Like, they can't hear that it's outrageous, and this is their justification. Doesn't mean it's okay. This is their explanation, you know?
Yes. Which isn't helpful, right? You're not helping the situation because things are going to keep going. They're going to keep doing shit, right? I personally wish we can at least say, okay, we get it. Games are big, games are lasting, and we're asking for a lot. We constantly ask for more content from a game, understandably so, and we don't want to pay more money for it up front. We're saying that as gamers, and I get it. I get it. I'm with you. I wish we could at least come together and say, here's what we should do. And that thing, in my opinion, is microtransactions and fucking free-to-play games. Like, that makes the most sense to me. That just makes the most... Everyone is happy.
Yeah.
We get to play the game for literally free, and the people with money can spend extra money on the game
to flex on us with
game.
their costume. Oh, sorry.
Yes. Do you want to talk about anything? What were you?
I'm sorry.
Playing Fortnite recently.
Yeah,
I did.
It got me. It got me. It got me. They did. They got me. I'm cool with it.
Okay.
They took advantage of the fact that I had just got through playing Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay.
And when that V skin came out, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. Capitalism is bad. It is. I get it.
And this is why he's a shield, guys. He fell into
I get it. I get it. And
they got more characters coming too.
Yeah, no, I saw that. They're gonna get a lot of Mortal Kombat. A lot of people who said I ain't gonna ever buy a skin ever in my life. I'm just gonna do the free-to-play game. But like,
hell no.
So I can answer my shillery at the same time. Fortnite has a Guitar Hero mode where you can go in and play music with your friends. Racing. Fortnite has the music mixes that you can. I have seen some bangers. Like, what in Fortnite? Are you kidding me, man? I played what is that show? A Squid Game. There was a Squid Game version of stuff in there. There's like a first person psychological horror. There's music. There's the social game where you're trying to figure out what person is the thief. Among Us. There's like
there's racing. There's survival game. There's tag, there's
It's
parkour, there's a
insane.
story.
It's
there's
a
Counter-Strike.
The Counter-Strike one is so much fun. There are some people who only play Fortnite. They get everything they need from video games from Fortnite.
Oh, literally.
So,
literally.
Yeah, man.
Fortnite
I think
is
it's the
to me
answer.
the most acceptable. I definitely do. Free to play game. Very surprising how much you can play.
Yeah.
That's not just a battle royale. Absolutely. And like I said, hey, look, I've also spent some money on Fortnite without a doubt. All right, without a doubt. Right. And my thing is, if I spend, let's just say, $70 on Fortnite, which is much of a regular game, you know how much shit I'm getting for Fortnite. You know how fulfilled I am as a human with every skin that I want, every emote that I want, and still spending the amount of a full priced game in Fortnite and getting way more content in the game.
Right.
I haven't even reached that amount. But if I did, I wouldn't feel bad. I've been playing, at least messing around with Fortnite for upwards of 6-7 years now. You know what I'm saying? And it would no stopping, and you know, and so it's not that bad. I think free to play is the future. Now here's the kicker. Okay. This is where you might want to jump ship. All right. These views are my own, not of those of Counterplay Conversations.
Okay.
All right.
So 8-Bit Closed Fist is saying this.
This is 8-Bit Closed Fist saying this.
Right.
Ronell of 8-Bit Closed Fist. I would even say that we can do microtransactions, battle passes, even charging for new chapters in a fully single player game. Microtransactions as far as cosmetics, I say they can do all of that as long as the game drops at a price of, I say free, but even if you don't do free, $15, $10 or lower. If Assassin's Creed was free and they made you pay for like maybe a chapter to continue the game, like per chapter, like pay per chapter, like $5, whatever, as long as it like at least equals up at the end of the day to like $70, $60, I'd be down for it. I think that would be the move. Personally, I'm down for it. Like a Telltale game, almost, yeah.
So, because here's the truth, most gamers don't even finish the games that they play. They don't.
Saving money.
And in that particular context, they better hire us, bro. They better hire us.
You know how much money people are saving on their backlog? Hundreds of dollars.
You're saving so much money because the only way that you would go for is if you really wanted to. And like you can do it. It's almost like pay as you go, but for a video game. Like, you know how people out here about to go into debt with DoorDash doing that? Don't pay as you go for a pizza. Please don't do that for a pizza. If you got the money to pay for a pizza, but you just need them to help you split it, take what's split and go get some groceries. And yes, it might be rice and beans, you know, but it don't have to be. It don't have to be. You can really learn. This is for our community. Don't pay for a pizza over time.
Don't do it. If you ain't
don't
got
do
it today,
that.
You ain't got it tomorrow.
You ain't got it, and that's all right. That's okay. You gonna get there one day if you stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
it's adding up.
Yeah, I was initially, when you said that, I felt like I don't really agree with that. But when I thought about it, especially considering how I don't finish games, it would be an incentive to help me finish games.
And that's the thing. You would either finish the fucking game, for sure, or have saved money because you didn't finish the game, which is cool.
And you enjoyed what you wanted to enjoy and the value for what you got.
Something else came out, and maybe you just wanted to play that a little bit. And for that new thing that came out, free from the beginning, right? Now you can test that. Now you can play that. I think that would be great. Now, obviously, right? We get into like, let's see, if I'm a corporate Greedo, how am I gonna do this, right?
Boy, we finna have so many cliffhangers locked behind incomplete chapters. We about to have the newest difficulty. You're gonna have to pay $5. Okay, you like to parry to the left? Let's see if you want to parry to the right too. That's $4.27.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. No, remember those old arcades making games hard just so
for sure.
Yeah,
they're gonna make you charge you for camera angles, bro. I bet you money. They would start charging for camera angles. They would. All the ways they could get with that monetization to just It would be
Very possible.
hilarious, bro.
It could get crazy.
It could get crazy.
But that's a storm we'd have to weather out and deal with, right? I think we
Right.
can deal with that. There was a
Yeah.
storm a brewing for pay to win shit in games,
Yeah.
right? Like realistically, there was a real danger, right? There were really games with like the more money you spend, the better you will be. Period. Right? Like literally just buy the better gun. You know what I'm saying? Buy the pack to open battlefront. And you know what I'm saying? What was that? Not Lord of the Rings, fucking Shadow Mordor. I think it was the one for that. But anyway, there was real pay to win threat looming for us within gaming as free to play was introduced. But gamers said, hell no. We all kind of was like, no, that's
we was
not
on
what
the
we
same
want.
page with that,
Don't do that. Yeah, we all was like, no, do the cosmetic shit. That's cool. Right. This other shit is a hard no.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And they said, okay. We good with the cosmetics. And we said, you good with the
Yeah,
cosmetics?
yeah, we'll buy the cosmetics. Yeah,
You
we'll
good
buy
with
the cosmetics. Yeah, we'll buy the
And
cosmetics.
then we were good. Now those gamers got older, and a new generation came in that only knows free to play, right? That only knows Fortnite, right? They was like, no, everything is to be free. Now things got all messed up. But I think if we dial it back, we look at the landscape of things. We look at this price increase. If you're really mad, look at some alternatives to it. Don't just be mad and just wish it
Yeah.
would lower the price. That's not going to happen.
Do something.
You know what I'm saying? Like figure out some other alternatives here, and then we'd be good, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
That was I had never thought about it like that, but I feel like there are games now where if I had to pay money, like just thinking about games I haven't finished, like if I had to pay money to unlock the next chapter, the question would be, would I want to pay that? You know, like, do I want to play that? Basically, you know, it does make sense. But we got to do a comedy sketch about the ways that they would like try to monetize that, because I feel like it would be crazy. I feel like we would have this like it would be like the price increase for Nintendo conversation, and it'd be something where you could argue that we could charge you for this if we wanted to. You know, like I know one for you. I know one for you. I know one for you. If they charged you money to have to skip cutscenes.
Oh, that would be the most shitty,
bro. And I would, bro, that would be it. That would be it for you.
I guess
because look, it's basically saying, hey, you're supposed to be playing the game. Yeah, no. But then have quick time events during the cutscenes that you had to pay attention to, or you would lose.
All that Tekken time you spend in the training room, you think that would be free? That'd be a gym membership.
It's a gym membership.
You gotta pay for my ghost.
You gotta pay for your ghost.
100%.
Bro, they would go ham. Pay money to fast travel. Some might already have that in there.
Yeah, legit. But now I'm looking back at games that I've played and like trying to think of like cliffhanger points in which they would just make you pay for, right? It become paywall, like before they reveal a character. Before, like they will give you a new weapon, make you swing it a few times, and then say, that's the end of this one. Yeah, and make you pay for like to actually use the new weapon you unlocked. Like it would be crazy.
Get nasty.
It would be crazy for a good amount of time. But then we could put our foot down. We'd be like, hey, no
more of this. And then we go back to another thing, and we'll just keep going back and forth until we find some sort of happy middle, which will never be there.
Which we will literally never get there.
Yeah. But I don't think free to play is the solution. It does make sense. And I'm happy when I purchase something because I know I want it. I purchased that V skin because I thought V looked cool and I wanted it.
Now, gamers will have to get some restraint. It's a big word there, big R word. We would need some restraint, right? Like a lot of people do have that FOMO. That FOMO is strong. I didn't even know FOMO was so strong of a feeling, but it's powerful for real. Like people cannot. There's a lot of people who cannot deal with seeing items in a battle pass and not having it. Right? They can't deal with it. They just gotta at least buy the battle pass and at least try. Couldn't be me, but I understand.
Me either.
That's really out there. Now I was gonna try and find me. Let's try and find a good video real quick to kind of talk about video, at least about video game prices could be cool.
Yeah. But like that FOMO is hard, like you were saying, like, and I get it and I understand it. And I remember when I lost it. Like I remember whenever, because I used to feel, I was trying to be empathic to the Nintendo people, but I felt the same way about Nintendo as they felt. I mean, I feel the same way about that, like with Mass Effect. Like I love Mass Effect. I loved it
Mm-hmm.
so much. And it wasn't the price increase that changed with that. It was the entire changing of the gameplay that I knew. Not the gameplay, that's fine. It wasn't a good Mass Effect game. And I pre-ordered it and I played it and I didn't like it and it was bad and broken. And like that's when I realized, like, oh, I need to stop pre-ordering video games. Like I have to stop
Right.
doing that. It's not that I need to let that go. And yes, people are going to play it before me, but I need to let that go. And like once I did, it's so much better just gaming in general, you know?
100%. 100%. Another thing that's better in general is just playing games that you just find interesting and not worrying about the internet discourse.
Yep.
I did that. Well, unfortunately, I was worried about a little bit of a video game discourse, but I ended up doing that with a game called South to Midnight. Fantastic video game. Have you touched it? Have you played it?
I have not had a chance to play it, but I did watch your review of it on your YouTube channel. And one, that was sick. What a wonderful breakdown. You really helped me understand and see the things that you saw. As a consumer of your review, though, I do have a question.
Okay.
When you say that the combat, right? You said the combat is not the star of the show. You said the combat is just kind of there. I'm curious, is that true because the combat is just like that? Or are you not good at it? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to understand. Because I feel like I just, no disrespect, but I'm because we homeboys. I'm just telling you this openly. I'm just because I value a good combat system. People said the same thing about Forspoken, but all of those people like Luke Stevens, they're just bad at the combat in Forspoken. They don't know what they're doing. They're terrible at it. They don't have it on the hardest difficulty. They're not pushing themselves. I've seen their combo video and like. Luke Steve, it was embarrassing to me. So like, I'm just curious, is it that, like, can you kind of help me understand why you say what you say about
the offensive thing you said?
Well, I don't think it was offensive.
I think, yeah, and Stinger Poo, you're right. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think you are right.
Disrespect you
about that, and I'm not sure why the shots was fired. To be 100% honest with you, I think it's a little crazy.
I think you're gaslighting our audience right now because I think you know exactly why those comments were raised. Yeah,
let me gather myself.
Yeah, I think you know why, and any of the true Counterplay Conversations fans understands why I phrased that in that way.
Okay. Well, I will say truly. Just to explain a little bit on how the game plays without, I guess, dumbing it down too much of the experience. It's a linear game, right?
Yeah.
And as you're going through these games, these fight moments pop up, right? Where I'm obviously, right? Like almost Elden Ring, open arena, even if you look back at that part that I just kind of showed there, you'll see that okay, a fight scene is going to pop up, right? You know that for sure. And when you pop into this fight scene, it is, you have a light, a heavy, and you can charge the heavy. You don't really have combos like that. You have a push. You have like 3 special moves that you can do as well, which is a push, a pull, and you make some other things that you unlock that I don't want to ruin.
Right.
The combat, I will say, gets a little bit more interesting as you go, as they introduced a new enemy, but the combat is cut and dry. It is. It's like Devil May Cry 1 at the farthest, lowest possible point in Devil May Cry, right? Where you're just hitting the button. It is a button masher. There really is not much to it. And when I say it's not the star of the show, it is literally not the star of the show. Like literally, this game is about the story that you are being told here. And they do no storytelling within the actual fighting scenes outside of a boss fight, if that makes sense. Let's say in Elden Ring, right? There is fighting certain enemies that can reach you certain plot points, that can reveal you certain lore, etc. That is not the case for this. You fight to get from point A to point B, that is it. Like it is truly not the star of the show. And it's not anything to be good or bad at. It's so simple that it's like hopping on the PlayStation 2 game, not I guess in a bad way, but like you play a PlayStation 2 game with some punching and some kicking. There's no being bad at it. You just do it. Unless you're just literally terrible at video games. You can be bad at not working the camera because the camera isn't great. But that's really it. It's just not the star of the show. And also I say that as a which I like to do in a lot of my reviews, I say that as a expectation setter, right? Do not come into this game expecting any type of combat that you will leave thinking about. It will set you up for failure. Expect a good story. That is what you should expect.
So I guess when I say not good at, because again, whatever, it's fine. We're adults. Does the combat system give you the ability to express yourself creatively? Like if I played it and you played it and we took a video of us going at a scene, would it look different? Like, do I have that amount of creative freedom, or am I just, just pressing buttons? Like, does she have like, launchers into the air that you can do? Then does she have the move that you use to pull a person in? Does she have those core staples? Like, is there a parry? Is there a perfect dodge? Like, and you said there are no combos. Is it the same 4 or 5 button combo over and over and over again? And that's okay. But like, is that the case when there are no combos, or is it just that they don't have like, Y, X, Y, X, 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 Y, X? Do you see what I'm asking?
Yeah. And that's a good question, actually. I think that's a way I will start to look at certain views. Like, if we both did a fight scene, would it look differently?
Right.
I think that's a great perspective switch. And my answer is no.
Really?
No. Yeah. I really don't think so. I'm trying to think of some ways, like even if you were just being goofy,
let's say I'm aura farming. Let's say because in Devil May Cry,
right,
there is a mechanic that allows you to walk slow. There's no other system in the game that needs you to walk slow. That's just there so you can look like a badass, right? Yeah. I'm wondering are there like ways of like moving around on the screen that it would look different? It would or is it like we have to approach every situation?
It's really
the same way?
This is it. Like there is a dodge button. Parry, none of that shit is really a thing. It's not a thing, actually. Let me say it's not really. It is not a thing. You press dodge, and it will dodge attacks. Like that is dodgeable. This is square and triangle. You can't launch it to the air. You can't even attack in the air at all. You can slam on the ground, so you can jump in the air and slam on the ground. But there's no air combos of any sort, so that's out. This is it. It's just smack, smack, smack. Now, I can imagine you wanting to use, you see those 4 buttons at the top left corner? Those are all moves, and push and pull is one of those moves. The other one is kind of like a stun. So, like, there's really not much there, truly. You're just smacking shit. And yeah, that's really it. There's really nothing else to it. No,
but see, like hearing the way that you're describing that, like from the question I'm asked, like I trust your ability. We might have some differences on fighting game ability, but I do trust your ability to be able to like know, okay, so that was a pull that she brought him in. That looks really cool.
There is a pull. That's what I'm saying. Like there's a pull and there's a push. That's, like there's a pull, there's a push, and I don't want to get into all of the things that you can do. Because I just don't want any. But that's the coolest part, right? Is like at least unlocking a new move. But that move is like one and done. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not even any real. You can if you are really thirsty, you can pull something out of it, but it ain't like Forspoken, where like that game is a combat game. Like that game is about having fun, being creative.
Yeah. That
is what that game is. Forspoken is nowhere near what this is. This is more like Crash Bandicoot.
Really?
Yeah. It's more like Crash Bandicoot with some moves, like Spiral.
And I believe you because DQ Roman was talking about this, about the compulsion games and how they do. I believe so. Now you've helped tempered my expectations because my feelings was about to be hurt if I hadn't have understood this from you. So this is not a video where like I'm gonna sync it to badass songs and then make combo videos out of it. This isn't that.
No. 100% no.
I mean, okay, I knew it wasn't going to be that like DMC be that, but I thought like, and I can cut it some slack because it's a black woman.
Nowhere near, trust me. Like, I'm talking to you now. No, nowhere near that. Nowhere near.
No creativity in that way.
No. Okay. It all kind of looks the same. You'll see. No, the answer is 100% full on no. If you are going to play this game, you are playing this game specifically to unravel the story specifically.
Can you turn the combat off?
You can, and I might actually. I honestly thought about doing it. I haven't seen it.
Well, why did they put it in there then?
So here's the thing. This is what I'm saying. Here's the thing, right? Like, the combat, in my opinion, this isn't bad combat, right? I don't think it's bad. Like doing it per se, I don't think this is terrible. I just think this, and this is just my head and how I see things, I guess. But I just think, oh, this isn't meant to be the star of the show. Really, like there are some combats in games that I've played where like, okay, this is supposed to be good, but it's not, right? And there are other times where I'm like, oh, this is supposed to just break up the game. The game is broken up into a few different parts, like maybe a little bit of parkouring or platforming, and then there's some story beat there. There's a little bit of like a chase thing, and then there's like some combat. It is a nice change of pace, right? Again, like I said in the review, you can get some dopamine out of it, right? You can get a little adrenaline rush, right? Especially if you play on a harder difficulty and then go back into the story. It is there to serve a purpose. And there is also some story elements that ties into the idea of the fighting that works as well. But yeah, it's just not a fighting game. It is a story game with some combat. But it's,
I mean,
it's
I'm just saying, I recognize that it's not a fight. I mean, I
I
don't want to
get
come
you.
off as, yeah, I don't want to get out and come off as saying like, of course, Derek, it's not Devil May Cry. Like, I get that. I'm just saying, what type of effort did they put into the combat? Is it such that, like in Dustborn, you could have just disabled it, and I would rather focus on the story because the story looks dope. So, like, is it something where, like, you know, like you said, you could get some dopamine from it, but imagine you had a friend that played things really, really hard. And like, I don't know, I think of DQ Roman, who I saw turn Avowed into a boomer shooter. It was hilarious. Funniest thing I've ever seen. Jumping around with dual pistols. It looked like one of those Doom games, you know? So I was just curious about the level of creativity that the combat had in it. Yeah.
Definitely zero, right? Definitely zero. Now, again, like some people at some and this is going, and I think now we're getting into the point of like this is going to be your personal preference of something you got to just check out, because I think also some people would mind just like, hey, just show me the cutscenes, right? Like I was playing it with like one of my friends and she was chilling, she was having fun watching me play it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure she was loving it, right? But like she was just liking the story and how everything was unfolding. You know what I'm saying? So like there are definitely levels to like, okay, I'd rather just not do the combat to just I'd rather not do the platform. Some people would just rather just hear the story. You know what I'm saying? Some people would just rather this be a comic book. You know what I'm saying? There's all types of levels to this, and I think that it is going to come down to your personal preference. But there are some times where I have thought about, hey, I kind of just want to see what happens next in the story. I might just disable the fighting, you know what I'm saying, and keep it pushing. Yeah. So it's something to think about. Something to think about. But the story is there. I will say that. The story is definitely there.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen a lot of those cutscenes and like just the way it's been voice acted. Like that part of it seems really awesome. I heard a little
Yeah.
story about the person that got to play the catfish. It was his first voice acting job, I believe. But
Oh
like,
wow, he did a fantastic job.
I think that's what they said. I don't want to lie, but there's something about maybe it might have been first for video games. I don't know, but I think it may have been first in general. But the point is, it was something of note. And like, yeah, no, just being from the South, it sounds like they really understood the assignment, you know? So I could forgive the combat. I was just curious about it. Like, and I guess, you know, that question may be more relevant for a game like Forspoken. Like, did you know how to play the game? Like, yeah, well, you're calling the combat bad, you know?
Yeah, like again, if yeah, Forspoken was meant to have good combat. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I would even say that they focused, like that was a big drawing point of that game, really. It was the combat and the focus. I think this would be more keen to did you play Hellblade?
Senua Sacrifice? With the,
Yeah.
because it had that binaural, like the haunting way it made you feel like you were hearing voices.
which
That
was
was
crazy.
amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
more
would
that.
say-
It's more that.
It's not. I'm gonna say it's that, right? I don't want to say it is that cinematic. That game is like
Oh yeah, no,
Cinematic.
of course,
a tech
of
demo.
course. Of course. Yeah, no, this is what you guys could be doing. Yeah.
Right, right. That game's a tech demo. But I will say the if there had to be a category, I think I would put it over there.
Okay.
As far as this game is meant to tell you a story, and you have some beats there, you have some puzzles there, you have some combat there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it is all meant to kind of break it up, but it's trying to tell you a story. And these
Okay.
things help break up just purely telling you
Right.
or reading you a book, you know. And I think South of Midnight is along those lines of like, we are giving you some gameplay elements here, right? But it is to like keep you engaged while we tell you this story.
So don't
You know
come
what I'm
into
saying?
this game thinking that it's Devil May Cry. And I don't know if anyone did that, but I think some people
Yeah,
might. I think a lot of people have their favorite game in their life and they approach every video game and compare it to that. And it's like, no, just go play your other video game then, you know, like
for sure.
don't come in expecting this when this is a completely different genre of thing.
For sure. And I think this game would have done a better job if it had marketed itself as more so from my expectations, maybe not from a seller point on their point, I guess, but from a gamer who have played and had expectations, I think they would have been a better job of marketing it as something more so along the lines of a Until Dawn or a
Really?
what's that robot joint?
Detroit Become Human?
Yeah, Detroit Become Human, like something along those
Along
lines, like
those lines,
market
not
it
exactly
more
like
toward that, so that we could bring it back. Like, oh, it has platforming. Oh, it has combat. Oh, okay, it's more interactive than those
They
games.
market it with the combat as the
Suppose that's to the other side
Yep.
of like
Yep.
it looked open world when I first even seen the game, right? It's
Right.
not open world, right? So like a full on Jack and Dexter-esque game, right?
Right.
Which again, the combat's more so along the lines of like a Jack and Dexter, right? Which isn't bad, right? You just go and hit the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it.
So you can understand why I'm asking this question then, right? Because
sure.
if that's what was going to, I mean, it also got me, and it was a black woman, a black main protagonist, all of those things that I'm not trying to say that's secondary at all. Like that's groundbreaking, but like knowing my gamer brain and how I've been conditioned, like I know and taking responsibility for it, but also understanding like, this is what, you know, the industry does. Seeing
Yeah.
that it was, because this is the take that people who are on the centrists are going to take. Like, I don't care who the character is in the game. I just want to know it's a good game.
Oh yeah, facts.
Is the game good? You know, are the mechanics good? I don't care that there's a black woman as a main. That shouldn't be important. And why do y'all bring up race so much?
Right,
And
right,
so
right.
I feel like some people got marketed like, because that's what I was going to judge it by. Like, of course, the story is important, but like that,
Yeah.
I feel like I take it for granted how important the story is. Like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm there for that, but like to me, it's not like, I think the difference in perspective is it's like I'm not playing a game where like I'm I'm actively consuming the story and the fighting stuff breaks it up. I'm consuming the story, the fighting stuff breaks it up, and like I want to know that that's the breaking up the monotony part is still fun.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be broken up from the gameplay
Yeah.
and not the story.
I think that's why a lot of people, I keep hearing, and I'm just now realizing it, but I think that's why I keep hearing that it's like a PS2 game in all the best ways kind of thing. Because I think they're thinking back to like a Jack and Dexter, a Spyro, you know, a Tasmanian Tiger, where like we're in a combat age now, right? Like parries, perfect dodges, you know what I'm saying? Time, you know, all a bunch of stuff like timing and all that combos really matter in most games with combat. A lot of games in combat, especially AAA, right? Whereas back in those days, again, those Jack and Dexters, those Sly Coopers and shit like that, there's no combat, you know what I'm saying? You go hit the baddie, you know what I'm saying, and keep it pushing. This game is more so along with those lines of like, you just you hit the bad guys, you know what I'm saying, and then you keep it pushing. It's more so along those lines, really. That's just kind of what the game is. But again, I do feel you, and we are, like I said, in a combat heavy, combat specific kind of era right now, where like the you know, every game, freaking Stellar Blade to Black Myth Wukong, of course, all the FromSoft, like a lot of those games are more like, we're about the combat. This game isn't like that.
If you judged it on its own merits just by itself, how would you say about the combat then? Just what you said in your review then?
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm moving past, the combat isn't a thing. It's
not something I'm gonna think about, like how I could do this cooler next time.
Me personally, no, right? And I think that's just because of how my specific brain working. It was like, okay, what are they trying to give us? Right, this is what they're trying to give us, and this is what I expect now. So this is what I'm playing, right? Again, if they were trying to do something and it wasn't working, that would make more sense to me. Like, for instance, like the camera, right? The camera just didn't work. The camera was odd. I didn't like the camera. So that makes sense to me. That sort of thing. I wish there were different environments, right? That's something that I feel like they could have switched up a little bit more. But the combat, I didn't expect anything from combat. The moment I seen that this is what the combat was, I said, oh, okay, this is what the combat is. You know, like I said, if I'm playing like a Jack and Dexter or a Spyro, I'm not gonna go into that thing. Oh, I wish I could parry. I wish I could do like some cool, crazy air combos. Like it's fucking Jack and Dexter. That's not the point of this at all. You know what I mean? So that's how I see it.
I hear you.
Damn. Sorry, I hear the disappointment in your voice.
Well, I mean, it's twofold. On one hand, again, I'm trusting that you are, because it's the difference between me listening and talking to you and you understanding what I'm saying and then how I think people are going to perceive me. I don't want people to perceive me as thinking that I thought it was supposed to have pairs. It's supposed to be like, I know this is an Elden Ring. I know it's not Devil May Cry. I'm just wondering, like, since they led with such a marketing push about the combat, did they give you enough freedom to express yourself to where if I played it and you played it, we would come away with a completely different understanding of it, or like we would approach this situation. Whereas, you know, I might do perfect dodges or use heavy attacks or whatever. You might attack it one way and like it would look different. But like if fundamentally the best people who played this game, it would all look the same, like everything that they're doing, then yeah, I would be, just because they led with combat as part of the marketing of it.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And I think a little bit of that is what I believe to be a little bit of your skepticism is from the fact that you have you've seen games talked kind of down that were great, right?
Yeah.
I think like Forspoken, right? Like at the end of the day, like it is kind of a situation, which is the situation for every gamer out there, actually, whether they acknowledge it or not. It is a situation of like, you have an idea of some things and sometimes that doesn't align with anyone else, right? Like, so like sometimes it's still kind of like, I gotta see. You know what I'm saying? Like I really gotta see, right? Like, there's only so much for any gamer to take in, right? And I think this could be another one of those situations where you're like, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Like, which makes sense. So yeah. We talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Master down here. We talk about battle passes, etc. Yeah. I can say that though. It ain't got no battle passes. It ain't got no microtransactions, and it's a cheaper game, $30, $40, right? I don't know how much it actually is.
It's $39.
It's Game Pass.
Oh yeah, it might be 49, 30, 29 anyway.
But I think it's worth the play. My other criticism of that game is that it is extremely sad. This is me judging the game for something that it's not. It's not meant to be a happy game, and I understand that. It still disappoints me how sad this goddamn game is. Yeah. And part of that sadness is because I love Hazel, the main character. She is great. She is really good. She's a great actor. The character is written well. She's just a cool character. I love Hazel. She's a cool chick. Like she's just cool. And she's going through some trash shit. Like just trash things, you know. I wish I could just play around and just, you know, have a little bit of fun with her. So hopefully, I don't know, a sequel or some shit, because it's a great world as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think that's what they opened with. What, the combat? I think they opened with you know, the first thing we seen was they were in a boat, right? And just that the art style, the visuals was kind of the main thing. Yeah, and then I think we seen a little bit of the parkour. Then I think we started to see that combat. Yeah.
I mean, again, I think I'll probably enjoy it just for the sake of the story, but I was just really curious about that because I've heard a lot of people say this, and like I trust your opinion, and so like I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and like that's what I wanted to ask. Like, is it how? But I believe you when you say that. Yeah, no, it's just not the star of it, and I don't think that it's supposed to be. But I just want to make sure they didn't just throw it in there, especially with the option to turn it off. You know? Yeah.
No, I feel it. We'll see. We'll see. We'll look forward to the Derek, the Mindful Gamer, follow-up review, counter
review. Yeah,
which could be a cool review thing.
It might be.
But what I disagree. One thing I disagree with that I've just been seeing out there is just, and this is more so a rant about reviews that I won't even get into, but I just don't like the game being talked about in a way that it's not supposed to be talked about in, you know, like I've seen some like reviewers saying like the gameplay elements weren't spectacular. I don't understand why people like it that much. And this is a popular like reviewer, someone who's been in the industry And that just doesn't make sense to me because you can't grasp why people like this game. As someone, as him who has played the game, you can't grasp the point that this game is trying to make. You can't grasp. That's like me playing Detroit Become Human and saying, I just don't like that I gotta read a lot of story. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the action beats. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like that it doesn't give me the dope. That's literally not the point. You know what I'm saying of this.
Right.
And some people know that. Some random commenters and stuff like I get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever. But you are a reviewer professionally.
Now again, we started our conversation with, conspiracy. Would that not be, though, what someone would say so they can maybe signal to a certain part of the gaming community, like, I can't understand why anyone would like this game? It gives you an excuse and reason to say it, but like, what do you mean you can't understand?
And that's what I was thinking, man. That's really, really, really what I was
It's kind of like what Luke Stevens did with Forspoken, where like the combat was the star and he showed none of it. He showed like a couple of clips and then made a throwaway line that the combat was good. Some people that like combat, they might really enjoy something here, but he didn't say it with the same energy that he said the stuff being cringe is. He didn't say it with the same energy that he said the other stuff with. Okay. So you might be on to something. This might be the new Dog Whistle. You may have just DLC unlocked. Dog Whistle downloaded. We got it.
I'm glad I'm not tripping because that's the vibe that I got from it. It's like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, you
can point to what other people would enjoy.
And also, because fuck it, we're getting into it now. Also, this person said, okay, this is what they said. It was one tweet. It said, I think I'll stop after making it to chapter 6. I can't play it anymore. I think I'm going to have to put down South of Midnight. Okay, cool. And a follow-up tweet, they put, because like they basically said, no, I can't play it because it's too like traumatic. It's really sad. Like some of the stuff is really sad, right? But the main tweet is saying, I just can't do it anymore after chapter 6. I can't play.
This really sounds like somebody who's trying to maintain that anti-woke part of their community. They're trying to maintain the grift. They don't want to. They want to make sure that the first thing that they see is them being all weird and anti-woke about it, and then the next thing is the follow-up because they're trying to. We can't let people get away with this.
I honestly don't think we should.
I don't think we should let them get away with this.
I think I'm gonna ask that person, talk to that person because I've been seeing them in real life. So we don't see. We're gonna see. But very interesting. Very interesting. I think they wanted drama, right? And again, this is an older dude's at least 40. You know what I'm saying? Like legit, been around the world, worked for all types of real publications. You gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah, because you know better. You could say, I'm not having fun. I mean, the game might not be for me, but I could definitely understand why people would love this. Like, that's how I feel about Monster Hunter Wilds.
Right? 100%. 100% right. And you can also say in one tweet, oh, this game is really sad, and like it hit some personal notes for me that I don't want to deal with. Like it triggered you basically, which is cool.
But you wouldn't want to say that, right?
But you don't want to say that. You know what I'm saying? But
because people will take that tweet and argue about it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Why would they do that?
It's very interesting, man. Very interesting shit. But check out South of Midnight. Check out Derek the Mindful Gamer, and check out the 8-Bit Close Fist. Fun stuff is going on still. Okay, don't get it twisted. There's some fun things happening right now. Mindful Gamer, what is going on with you?
Man, the Church of New Game Plus is growing, man. We figured it out. We got people joining on Twitch streams now. It's really fun. Man, we just got through. We had this last week. Last week we had just this crazy experience about apples in the general chat, and what started as an innocuous tweet ended up in like 14 different messages. People from all over the community were coming in, and like we've just been having a lot of fun about apples, all the ways that we like to cook and eat apples. We have a member that's named Apple, and someone was like, I'm drinking from apple juice, and then someone was like, I kind of prefer my apple sliced anyway. And Apple's like, well, why can't you just get a banana? And then I was like, but that's fine, but apples are better. Like, it's just a wonderful community of gamers who have followed me from before I was the Mindful Gamer, and people who are just looking for a place. There's Warframe is probably the most active game that people are playing now. Also Marvel Rivals. But as people join,
they're on Warframe?
Yeah, no, it's a whole
Interesting.
like clique of people that play Warframe real hardcore, and like they asking me to come join, and I'm a little
You want to
embarrassed
join?
because I know that my frame isn't going to be as good as theirs, but I should
It
probably
won't
just
be.
let that go. Yeah, no, I
It's gonna
feel
be
like they.
ass.
I know, I know, I know. How can I come in as the leader of the community with a busted Warframe? Why are
Yeah,
you
they will
following this
laugh.
person? You know?
That's interesting. I kind of
Anyway,
want to. If you go to Warframe, I go to Warframe.
really?
If you go to Warframe, I download
I would
Warframe, man.
love to play Warframe,
Have you
especially I
played it
saw an
at
update
all?
with yeah, I played it for like a small
Back in
amount
the
of
day.
time back in
Yeah.
the day, and then something else got my attention. But I remember when playing and it's one of those things where it's like I love Destiny and then moved to
Mhm.
Destiny 2. Like that was great. Destiny, I miss it. I might have to go pull it back.
Hey,
See,
man.
and then that's
Love
why
me
I
some
didn't play
goddamn
Warframe
Destiny.
because I
What
would
you
go
mean
talk
with
about
Destiny?
Destiny. That's exactly what it is. But I think Destiny came out around something happened, but I was
Yeah,
on
no, no.
Destiny was my Warframe.
Yeah, for sure. Destiny gonna
Yeah,
take over
yeah.
for sure. No,
Anyway,
interesting.
Church of
No,
New Game
I'm
Plus, we accepted members. My membership it's $1.50 to get in. It just is what it is. It's gate kept because it's a lot of crazy people out there, and this keeps them out. But there are other ways to join the community. You might have to make
yeah.
some clips for us, but we got you. Let us know.
100%. 100%, man. I am down for some goddamn Warframe.
But I would do it.
Yeah, 100%. And we gotta hop back on 33 Immortals too.
Yeah. Oh, I finally beat the boss, man. Finally experienced it. It was
Oh
crazy.
shit, really?
And it was
Yeah, that's right.
it was 33 of us. Like
Oh, really?
I found the crew. I did. I
Oh,
found the
damn.
people, and like none of like, and it was one of those things where like none of us were really all in a group together, and we would just group up just naturally. Everything
So-
went by so quick.
Did you go in there solo or with the
Yeah,
group?
solo queue.
Damn. Oh wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
So it's getting through. Like I think it took the game a minute to find its footing.
Yeah.
But like it's getting through to and even if it was just 33 people that played that game in real life,
Yeah.
but no, it's getting through to the people who understand that it's about working together. This is not
Yeah,
a Souls-like
play.
game. This is not you come in here by yourself. You come in by yourself with the intent of looking for a team to group up with, and you
For
either
sure.
do that or you fail.
For sure, for sure. You know, I kind of wish, just randomly, just thinking about that, and then we'll go back into closing. I kind of wish they had a pseudo group easier. You know what I'm saying? Like thing, right? You drop solo and then like not like a add friend click type of thing like that, but like
Social
some in-game
setting,
mechanic, like
Yeah.
hold your hand up and then you like
Yeah,
join,
something like
partner
that would be
up,
cool. Yeah.
and now you can like revive each other and shit.
That would
I
be
think
cool.
that'd be really fucking
Yeah,
cool.
no, like
actually.
like that starting area could be a social area. It really could. It could be
Yeah.
a social area. If you can do
Yeah.
33 in the game, it could be a social area. Like even places to maybe not places to sit. It's hell, you know. So we have to stay
Right.
in lore. But I feel like they could. I mean, but they have a shop there. I feel like they could set up a little
Yeah.
social area in there
Yeah, or even like like little shrines in like the actual map
that
when
you
drop
wait
in,
at.
that
for-
you go wait. I
Yeah,
think that'd be cool as shit.
that would be good.
That'd
That
be
would
cool.
be good. That would be good. We need to email.
You know what I'm saying? No facts. I actually might try and send that to him in their Discord. Because that'd just really double
That
in
would
down
be-
on that co-op shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I didn't need to be playing that. I was reviewing a bunch of stuff over at 8-Bit Close Fist. I could change this from coming soon to fucking out now.
It is out.
But
It is out now.
Checkpoint the show. There's a lot of stuff coming. We're releasing a new episode soon. Finally, we're steady recording, steadily editing. If you're in Los Angeles, we're throwing cool events. I just threw a South of Midnight launch party that had karaoke and music and DJs and drinks and a Street Fighter tournament and people just chilling and hanging about, which is fun. It's always fun. And yeah, just more videos on 8-Bit Closed Fist page, more streams, more fun stuff. Tap in for more video game discussions from both me and the Mindful Gamer over there. It's been real.
Yeah, this was fun.
Thank you, everybody, for coming through. We will be back. We're not playing around. We will come back next Sunday to see you. All right? Make sure you're here. Adios.
See you.